With the major in Shanghai having finally concluded, a change of CS2's active duty map pool is coming closer, and the highly anticipated -Vertigo and plus Train seems to be the most likely outcome. With this in mind, I'm gonna go over everything you need to know about Train and how to play it in order to get a head start over your opponents and cash in some juicy free elo. First of all, let's take a look at the general timings of where the CTs can meet the Ts, considering both are starting from their respective best spawn. Considering those points of contact, we can already see that the Ts have a favorable timing for an A main push, a roughly equal timing for Ivy and somewhat also Popdog, since a CT could be in there but would be out in the open, and last of all, an unfavorable timing for B halls. So for a CT default, in order to lock everything down as tight as possible, you wanna start the round with 4 players towards A and 1 dedicated B anchor. The spacing on A goes as follows. There needs to be a dedicated Ivy anchor, 2 players on site that can play anywhere in the highlighted area, and last of all, a rotator that wants to play close to the connector and is only there to stop a potential A main rush from the Ts. If this doesn't happen in the early stages of a round, you wanna shift your attention towards B and help your anchor there while staying close to connector to still be ready for a quick rotation towards A if needed. So regardless of if you're currently on A or B, the bomb train on A and the train close to connector on B are your best friends here. The A side players need to first of all deny A main rush or just inflict as much chip damage with utility as possible. To achieve this, the first player coming from connector wants to jump through a Molotov in front of A main, like so, and the second player, which is coming from camera, jump throws an HE towards A main to slow down the Ts and deal an insane amount of util damage, which makes the side hold a lot easier afterwards. Next, you wanna follow it up with an A main smoke and then just play anywhere on site or coordinate some aggressive plays like a peek in towards Popdog to get a pick on the Ts and secure a numbers advantage. A setup that I like to play is 1 player behind red, since this is in my opinion the strongest spot on A, and a second guy close to Popdog. In this case, both players can always support each other should the Ts push main or Popdog. And last of all, for the Ivy player, you have the option to go aggressively early with the self flash and clear Ivy in the process, which gives your team a lot of information and enables you to immediately start a flank on the Ts, should no one be there. But on the other side, if the Ts are ready for your aggression, you leave your team at a huge disadvantage. So be mindful about when to pull this play off, since it's a high risk, high reward kind of thing. Alternatively, you just want to occasionally jiggle Ivy and smoke it off should you spot someone, and otherwise just help your A players with util or some cheeky peeks from hell if the Ts are pushing Popdog or main. But don't overcommit, since T-lurks over Ivy are quite common and it's your responsibility to fend them off. For the B anchor, you have 3 different scenarios. First of all, you can go aggressive on upper, flash yourself in and try to get a pick. But same as for the Ivy aggression, it's a high risk, high reward play that at most works twice per half and can potentially lose you rounds. Secondly, if the Ts are rushing B, your A players should hear this and warn you in advance. Then you usually want to try and stall with an incendiary towards lower, followed by either an HE and a passive play where you wait for rotations to come in, or you're not throwing an HE in the first place but try to play around blue and get an advantageous trade. And lastly, should neither of the aforementioned cases happen, then you just play on side and coordinate with your A rotator who is holding upper and who is holding lower. As a side note, an interesting angle I've seen in a few packs so far is from cat all the way down to lower, which is an insane off angle onto anyone pushing lower ramp. Next, for a T default, you need to decide in the buy time which side you're going to hit and over which choke points. Since train is such a big map, it's impossible to take every bit of neutral space, where it's sufficient to only take areas you need for playing an execute on either A or B instead. You pretty much have 5 basic options here: an A rush, A execute, B rush, or an Ivy rush. While this seems like a lot initially, it's really not that difficult. First off, for an A rush, you need to have one dedicated util guy that smokes both the camera and connector from spawn, like so, and afterwards flashes over main however many times the amount of flashes he bought and you dropped him allow for. For the other 4 guys, just go A main and sprint out towards the right towards electric, except for the last guy who can hold any sneaky pushes from the cities on the left side of red or a peek from Ivy. From here on, you only need to continue pushing side and that's pretty much it. For an A execute, you need control over A main, which is pretty much given to you for free, Popdog, and sometimes also Ivy if you want to play with a lurker, but that is completely up to you. The general spacing looks like so: 1 player taking Popdog, where you are holding both Popdog and B halls for any pushes, 3 players in A main, where 2 are holding for any pushes and the other one can already prime his util, and lastly, 1 player Ivy, just holding for a push and then trying to backstep the cities, once the util from your mates is down and they already started to push side. Otherwise, you want to hold for any Ivy pushes from spawn and then go out A main with the other guys. For a B execute, it's even easier. Here you want to have 1 player holding for any A main or Ivy pushes, 1 guy somewhat holding Popdog, and 3 guys in B halls, where you want 1 player holding lower and 2 guys clearing upper. Then you need to smoke con and bomb side with these 2 smokes. The player holding lower just bounces a smoke off the ramp like so, and the guy throwing the 2 smokes then flashes your guys out right after. And for the spacing, you can push however you want. 3 guys on lower and no one upper is as viable as 2 guys on lower and 1 guy upper, or 1 guy lower and 2 guys on upper. Next, a B rush is the easiest setup of them all, where all 5 of you are going B and you only toss the ramp smoke from before while rushing and have the last guy flash you out like before. And last of all, in an Ivy rush, 4 of you are going Ivy, where you then either smoke right and try to go CT to B, or smoke left and try to overwhelm the CTs on A. The remaining guy can then either lurk in A main when you're pushing A, or lurk in B halls and go for the Popdog rotation, or pounce on lower or upper B and try to pick off the B anchor. So yeah, I hope I could give you all a basic understanding of how to play the new train in CS2. If you did enjoy this video or find it helpful in any way, you can leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more CS content by clicking the icon to your left or on the video to your right for more content YouTube thinks you are likely to enjoy as well. If you have anything on your mind, you can hit me up on Discord or in the comments below. As always, have a nice day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!